Yeah, she's just got home, so she might join in to listen a little bit later. Anyway, so the only sounds that you are there. Fuck, stuff it. No, that's it. Not speaking anymore.
All right,
You
that's
guys
the end
can
of the
just imagine
session.
the intro.
Thanks for the session, Nick. Great.
Back to barbecue.
Back to ignoring a barbecue.
Say hi to Lewis while you're there.
It turns out Lewis is actually just outside Yllka's door. Right. The only sounds that you can hear are the creaking of wooden planks and ropes, whilst a faint splashing sound comes from the bow. This all being routinely interrupted with the snoring of a dwarven monk. The astral sea is quiet, and as ever, calm. Our adventurers are resting after a long first day of travel. From making deals with beings from other dimensions to attempting to kill said beings, that paired with not being the aggressors in some attacks, while some devils were able to track you down, this all led to a dip in the astral sea for some of you, so a busy day indeed. The night seems to pass without any aggression or transgression made against you. Well, night as much in the fact that you slept. The sky remains in its ever-present orange and pink-hued colours, and whilst you napped, Argenfell continued to man the helm. When we rejoin our adventure... Okay, no, this isn't present me. This is past me. I put when like 3 times in this fucking sentence. When we rejoin our adventurers, you have travelled for the best part of the second day. It has been a relatively peaceful journey, with only 1 or 2 things gaining your interest so far. One of which was the emergence of a creature from below the surface. Spanning longer than the boat and just as wide, this creature seemed to have fins akin to a fish. It moved its body in a rhythm akin to swimming, even though from your understanding this would do little to propel it. It had dark blue and purplish skin across its body and head, and a giant eye resided on the side of its head near to the end of what looks like a mouth. As it emerged, a spout of astral mist streamed from the top of its head, and then the long flowing tentacles lifted up. Translucent, yet vibrant with light blue spots of light emanating from them, they drifted through the space, seemingly being dragged forwards by the rest of the creature. It did this sort of swing alongside the ship for a good couple of minutes before diving back below the surface and departing. Departing? This is not my night, apparently.
Oh, boy.
However, we rejoin our adventurers with the other happening. A bank of astral mist drifts across the ship, stifling sight. As it leaves, however, the vision that returns to you, well, that is for you to decide. A brass man stands in the sea, the surface wrapping around the lower parts of its shins. Large plates slide to different positions, hinges swing and gears turn. Its limbs seem oddly proportioned, longer than they should be. The shoulders carry massive pauldrons atop them. Long strips of fabric seem to hang off them, with weights at the ends, yet they float. You only gain a sense of size for this creature when you realize the small dots floating on the surface are bodies. None of them larger than a single finger from this creature's hand. The head seemingly turns towards you. It seems to be styled to look like a helm, or perhaps it is a full-faced helm. All that you can tell is there is a red glow leaking out of the eye holes. Conduit, what have you gotten yourself into?
Not gonna lie, it kind of finds us.
Yeah, apparently it does.
Is this what the roll was, or is that coming later?
You don't know.
Oh, are we awake?
You are awake. It's probably about, I would say, just gone lunchtime an hour or so afterwards, or at least that's what your internal body clocks are telling you. It's very hard to tell considering that there is just eternal light in this plane. There is no day-night cycle. So,
it's staring at us.
Its head does appear to turn towards you, yes.
No. Oh, you got it labelled up properly this time. That's nice.
Yeah, I thought it would be easier to read than my scribbles.
I come up on deck, nursing the mother of all hangovers. Anyone else seeing that thing?
Yes.
Yep.
We do standard
What?
animal eye contact procedure of close eyes for a bit, and then we open eyes to establish trust. No. Okay. I'm gonna do it anyway.
Sure, give it a try.
I'm gonna give it a try. Oh, it
What,
looks
are we
really-
heading towards it?
Wait, I don't know if that is owl body language. Shit.
You seem to be heading towards its general direction, and it does appear to be now beginning to step forwards.
It didn't work.
Unfortunately.
I don't think owls
Maybe-
speak that language.
Maybe you need to be closer to it.
Oh, makes sense. Maybe
Maybe
it
you
can't
need
see
to
your
be
eyes.
right next to it.
Maybe.
Like right in front of it.
Then it can see your eyes. I get it. Yeah.
You see a massive foot lifted out of the sea, or it takes a step and pushes it back down. Large waves ripple out from underneath it, although the bodies floating around where it was stood seem to stay almost exactly where they are.
Wait. I just kind of clicked how tall this thing must be. It to be touching the floor.
Yeah, I don't know if it's touching the floor.
Should we
Oh.
be worried?
Maybe someone's tell the captain to steer away.
I don't know. He doesn't seem to be bothered by anything.
I feel like
I
he
mean,
just
Eryn's
makes
right
us deal
about
with the problems.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe, should they have some sort of insurance for this?
It was rather cheap travel.
I don't know if fiends deal in insurance. Anyway, okay.
They deal in contracts.
They do deal in contracts. Anyway, pottering up to the bit of the ship where Mr. Captain Argenfell himself is.
You're right.
What?
Pap, 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 pap. Do you know who that might be?
Not who, but what.
Okay. Do you know what that might be?
What's he saying?
Shut up!
That would be an inexorable.
Can you repeat that word for me one more time, but a little slower?
Inexorable.
Inexorable.
Are we gonna fight it next? Do we have to
As
kill
Ray
it?
asks this question, those who are still staring at this giant being, which might also include Nyx, notice that the red of where its eyes would be starts to glow brighter and brighter and brighter. All of a sudden, it seems to expand in a horizontal line, going to about shoulder width. Before, it then expands in the other dimension, forming a very large open doorway between you and it. As it does so, it continues striding forwards, and as it passes into the doorway, disappears. And I'd like a couple of you to make perception checks, please.
I will. I have good perception. Let's see.
Why do we keep letting you roll perception?
Because everyone else hesitates. Let's be honest.
Alright.
Ray would try.
I should make Ulrich roll perception. He's good at perception.
Well, Ray, that's a portal of some kind.
Oh no.
And you're staring a bit too much at this massive being just essentially walking through it. However, Eryn, what you notice is through this portal, there appears to be a few things which you can kind of glean from it. What appears in what appears to be the world beyond. There seems to be a city, seemingly sitting atop a clock face, with gears turning everywhere, no matter where you look. And there are all sorts of different shapes and sizes. There appears to be a larger number of people, but on closer inspection, no. Constructs. They seem to walk in almost perfect time with one another. Doesn't matter which direction they're going, footfalls in sync. They vary in colour, but they all appear to be somewhat metallic. As you try and get a better look at what lies beyond, the portal suddenly collapses, disappears, leaving behind only the mess that this giant creature had left and was standing in.
Did you guys see what was through that?
Of course I did. What did you see?
Let's compare notes.
It was like a city full of gears, all moving in perfect time together.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. City full of gears. What do you think that
Um,
means?
Interesting place. I wonder where that was. I wonder who lives there.
Hey, Argenfell. Where is that?
Yes. Hmm?
Where did it go?
I would believe where it comes from.
Does the where it come from have a name?
I don't know much about them. No one really does. But they come from the plane of law.
I don't like the sound of that plane.
Yeah, screw that place.
Law? Who wants that? Wait, is this the L-A-W law or L-O-R-E?
LAW.
LOAR.
Would be LAW.
It's more commonly known as Mechanicus.
Oh shit, sorry, I thought you were asking out of character.
Oh, that sounds much cooler. Mecanada?
Cannabis.
Mechanicus.
Sorry.
Well, fuck you too, Roll20.
Nate, you've made a word that's really hard to say. Oh, fuck. Okay.
Mechanicus. Mechanibus.
Mechanicness. What?
Mechanimus.
No, wait, say it. Wait.
Mechanicus.
Mechanicus.
Like
There we-
mechanic.
Okay, I got it. Okay, Mechanicus. There we go. Saying it fine now.
That's so cool. Oh my god.
It's really cool. Okay, so it was the Inox. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. This is both.
Inexorable.
That's it. This is both in and out of character, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thanks. Inexorable and Mechanicus. Yes? Close enough?
Yes.
Close enough. Okay, that's good. That's cool. Wait, but if there were... What are they called? Automatons? Is that what we call them? Then why is there a big funky owl red-eyed owl thing.
I never said it was an owl.
Oh, I thought you said it had the face of an owl.
Full helm.
I was wondering where you got owl as well, but I didn't
Yeah.
question it.
Oh, I must have misheard. I'm sorry.
The head styled to look like a helm, or perhaps it is a full-face helmet. A red glow leaks out of the eye holes.
I think I just heard the bit and just assumed you said owl, because I'm used to
did
hearing
say-
you say owl.
Nix didn't perceive anything.
Nix didn't see shit. Nix needs glasses. Too
I
much
could see
time.
Nix.
Spent too much time holed up in the library reading by candlelight, because they had not learnt prestidigitation yet. Anyway, well, it was pretty cool. I'm glad it didn't attack us.
They have only been known to attack things they perceive as breaking the true law.
And what might be this true law so that we don't go breaking it?
Depends on the inexorable.
Ah. Okay, that's just rude.
Doesn't sound like a true law to me.
Like, you can't just, like, pick a rule for yourself, and if anyone else breaks it, you're like, well, shit, they gotta die now. Lol.
As far as I'm aware, or at least I've seen 3. Each one upholds a different true law.
Okay, now that makes sense. If there's multiple true laws, each one is tasked with upholding said true law, rather than just having a true law for itself. But then, what are the true laws? Why are there true laws?
Philosophy with Nix.
Nick's questioning existencing.
Ulrich, you hear Ulrich shout from the deck below. Maybe to combat all the chaos.
That, I like that. That is a very good point, Ulrich. Yes, that makes sense. Chaos is great, but you can't have too much of it. But then you can't have too much lore either. So,
And that's why the gods are always fighting.
that's very true. Yay. Great. And thank you for your...
Nix just talking to herself again.
I'm literally talking to Ulrich right there. He's right there.
Who's this Ulrich person you've made up?
The dwarven monk just glares at you.
I'm glaring too.
Are you okay, Nix? Do you need to sit down?
I'm not gonna stand for this. I say, sitting down.
Sitting down. Ardenfell continues to steer the ship,
Mm-hmm.
and you are now beginning to get closer to the what you count as about 20 or so bodies just floating.
Okay.
Some on the surface, some just in the air. There are discomforting piles, well, spheres, puddles, droplets of crimson red just hanging in the air, around, on the surface, just everywhere. It's almost as if the end of a battle, frozen in time. As you get a bit closer, you notice that the corpses appear to have varying amounts of different armor on them. Their style seems to be somewhat similar, neutral colors with only a splash of red and yellow across the torso, and with the pauldrons on the left side, each one has a crest either engraved or pressed into it, depending on if it's metal or leather.
Do I recognize the crests?
Roll a history check.
Time to pray. I sit down. I'm already sat down, but I'll pull out my prayer stuff.
With 23, you do. You recognize this as one of the crests of the noble households of the Attaladian kingdom.
Oh, that's a match.
Oh, that's in mine too. Oh ho ho.
Slightly unsettling, but okay.
Let's pull out the political Jetta map.
It's the big one at the north.
Right on the border.
Also the kingdom that we were at war with.
Mm-hmm.
Quick question: is it just Highever that's at war with Adelaide, or is it Darrad,
No.
Highever, and Tibia all fighting?
I feel like we would have gotten over it by now.
Yeah. I ever. Was it Darren? Darius?
Darrad.
Darrid. There we go. And Tibia all at war with Adelaide.
Makes sense considering the thing, the party we went to. But
However, from what Rose told you, the Attaladian army withdrew when the dead started rising.
Now that's, I want to say interesting, but really I'm just very, very concerned.
About what?
Why would they withdraw?
Because if they've been pushing in, they've got battles behind them, so they don't want to get surrounded by undead.
Right, so the undead appeared behind the Kingdom of Adelaide, and that's why they withdrew.
Let me draw this for you.
Okay, please do, because I'm...
You have the border.
Okay,
You have the 3 different kingdoms.
Yes.
You have Adelaide pushing in,
Yes.
fighting.
Yes.
That means there are battlefields here.
Yes.
When the dead start rising, if the bulk of their army is here,
oh, the
and
dead
they
are
have
rising
enemies,
behind them.
and if they have enemies here, they're going to be encircled.
That's bad. Okay, I understand now.
So they would have split and retreated around the battlefields that were there.
Back from whence they came.
I
Pretty
understand
much.
now.
To reinforce their line here, to stop the undead advancing into them, and to try and push it forwards.
See, I assumed the undead came from, like, in this bit and were pushing back. And then they were like, well, don't worry about them.
That's what I thought you were thinking, but the point is, it is the dead fallen from the fights of the war, the battles of the war, which means if the Attaladian kingdom has been the one invading, then all the undead are essentially behind them. So the army essentially retreated to then hold their own border against the undead and try and force them further into the other kingdom.
Wow. Okay.
Hey, make the most of what they have.
Okay, I'm gonna delete that connection I have made in my head now, because that is an incorrect assumption.
Which was?
You know how there's some bad stuff happening in Midford? I just assumed that maybe that was connected to the undead, and when the undead started riding, Adelaide was like, well, my job's here is done. Just let the undead
you're
ravage
going so
us.
robotic-y.
Never mind, it was just weird.
Type it out at some point.
Okay, I'll spam you with it later. About the dots I'm connecting that don't actually exist.
I've connected these dots. No, you haven't.
You've connected nothing. I have connected these dots. Those dots don't even exist. Anyway. I understand the war now.
Alrighty. So, the boat is slowly going past these bodies.
And of course, praying for the safe passage of their souls, as you do.
Gunfo kind of looks down at you and goes, "Do you wish for me to stop for a while?"
As much as I would love to, I am concerned about us possibly stopping, considering all the things we have run into so far at the Astral Sea. And
Stopping, moving, makes little difference to the stuff here.
I guess. No, thank you. It's important that we get to Ratlam as soon as we can. Thank you, though.
Vincent, make a perception check for me.
Will do.
Perception. Ba-da.
Oh, I have to be the one with like the flat perception.
I feel you.
As
I
you're
just
just
get-
kind of glancing over the corpses, your keen, roguish eye and sense for value spots something upon the belt of one of the less armored individuals. From your quick assessment of it, you would assume it's well, it appears to be a sort of case attached to the hip of one of them, and you would assume it probably contains something of importance, be it maybe deeds, a letter of commendation, perhaps something more magical like a scroll or the like. Either way, probably worth a bit.
I follow you.
You fall in.
No, I follow.
Well, it's attached. I was going to say it's attached to it appears to be attached to just the hip, the belt of one of the less armored individuals who is just appears to be almost split completely in two by a much larger blade than the being once
Ew.
was.
All right, I'll tentatively reach for it.
All right. As you're sort of passing by, you reach up, kind of grab it. Part of the body starts slowly moving with the ship, and you kind of quickly detach it, pull it down. It is a dark leather case, about probably your forearm in size, although not quite as wide, and there is a small lock at the top holding the cover down.
I look inside.
Oh, you
I
go to
mean,
open it and
if I can pick the lock.
yeah. Alrighty. Just for the hell of it, roll a. It would be. Are you? It'd be dex proficiency. Are you expertise in thieves' tools? I forget.
Yes, I believe so.
Ooh.
Double
that?
proficiency.
Add your. Yep. Add your proficiency twice then. So that'd be plus 9.
9.
9.
Oh, is that all?
Just a +9? Wow.
Just a +9? What a
Fucking hell.
Oh,
Great.
Lord.
That was just what you needed.
Oh,
This looks This looks a bit tricky for you. There's a bit of blood sort of having dried and congealed inside, and you have to spend a little while kind of scraping it out with your thieves' tools, and you almost bend one of them, but you're able to eventually and it kind of just pops open, and you flip it open and reach inside and pull out this very heavy parchment. And as you sort of unroll it and look across it, from your again eye for and slight to near no understanding of the arcane, this seems very arcane to you. You do believe it is a magic scroll. Of what, you are not sure.
All right. Interesting. I'm going to bring this up with Ulrich. I believe he won't betray me like the others.
The most arcane.
Let me check his intelligence.
The arcaneness of arcane.
All right. So the pile of bodies are now beginning to trail behind you guys as the ship pushes ever forwards. You kind of wander your way over to Ulrich, who's just sort of seemingly in his own little world at the time being, just thinking.
Ulrich!
Huh? Huh?
I happened upon a scroll. I don't know much about it myself, but I think it's got some sort of magical energy. I would tell these guys, but they'll keep it from me. You're a
All
monk.
right. Abby, if you want to roll his arcane.
You want to roll an Arcana check?
Mhm.
Is it like minus something?
Thankfully not.
Oh.
That's just a straight D20.
Which, amusingly enough,
Oh.
is worse than Vincent's arcane check.
Do you know anything about it?
I know more about divine magics rather than arcane, and I haven't the fucking slightest clue, mate.
I appreciate your honesty. But you've been less than useless.
Well, I mean, that's a fair cop, to be perfectly honest. Probably should've
Okay,
gone to one of the others.
you're right. Can I ask the captain?
With Nick still beside him.
I'll
Nick's
kind of like
just
stand
chatting away.
between them.
Oh, fuck.
Just side-eyeing whilst mid-prayer. Trying not to make it too obvious.
Nyx rarely ever has her eyes open whilst praying. She's staring at you.
Fine, I'll ask Nyx because she knows about the arcane, and I can just kill her
What?
if she tries anything. As we've already established.
Okay.
Do you want to roll your arcane check?
Alright, so I'm just gonna roll the same thing, but I'm gonna say it's Nyx's arcane check. That I typed Onyx. Whoops. There we go. Hey, I got 10 better.
Nyx, you know a bit more about about arcane magics than Ulrich.
I read a book.
You read a book? Do you have a bit of understanding?
Mhm.
This is definitely arcane in nature,
Mhm.
and having a look at just the size of this parchment and the complexity of some of the runes, the little which you do understand of this is some form of enchantment spell
Okay.
to do with buffing a individual. And the only other thing that you can glean is that this type of spell, this circle of power that it draws from, is well beyond your own ability to tap into at this moment in time. If you were to try and cast this, you would incur an arcane spell failure chance.
Ew. So,
AKA, this is high. This is a spell higher than level 3.
oh yeah, because I can only cast level 3 spells. Oh, one day.
So
one
what you're
day.
saying is you can't particularly help either.
Well, I can tell you it's a pretty powerful spell. You know, more
Well,
than your average
that's
people can cast.
positive, I suppose.
That's positive. If you do find someone that could cast it, you could learn a bit more about it. You could sell it to a wizard who doesn't have the spell, so they can put it in their book.
I mean, pretty much anyone can try and cast from a scroll.
Oh yeah, of course, because I wanted to make scrolls, but I'm not trained in arcane, so I can't.
So you can't make them. But yeah, pretty much anyone can cast from a scroll. It just if you're a caster, it tends to be a bit easier for you. If it's a scroll, if you're a non-caster, you have to make an arcane check, a check to see if you can cast it each time because you just aren't used to casting magic, so you have to make a check. If you are a caster and it is of a level to which you are capable of casting, you can just cast it, even if it's not on your spell list. That is a slight homebrew of mine because I think it's a tad stupid that you can know how to, I don't know, like cure wounds as a ranger, but you wouldn't be able to know how to inflict wounds or something. It's like, it just makes sense. So if it's a spell level, which you have, you can cast it, no problem. And it doesn't take the spell slot. It's just, if you have a spell level, you know what you're doing. If you don't have that spell slot level, that includes not having any spell slots at all, you have to try and roll to make sure that the casting goes off properly and no weird side effects happen. There's a chance of it just absolutely not working, a chance of it working perfectly fine, and then also a chance of it working but some weird side effect happens. Normally casters are better at casting because they get to use their casting modifier. So for a cleric, you get to use your wisdom, or a wizard would use their intelligence, a sorcerer would use their charisma. For non-casters, they have to use their intelligence. So if you're very intelligent but not a caster, you're probably going to be able to have better luck with them.
That's
But,
me.
yeah.
I'm intelligent and a caster.
Yeah, so you'd use your intelligence because you use intelligence as casting, and you can cast up to second level spells, I believe. So you'll be able to cast up to second level scrolls without incurring any checks.
This higher a scroll is of a higher level than 3.
You don't know what spell it is. Like written in code
Nix
or
doesn't
something.
know. Nix doesn't know. Vincent doesn't know. Ulrich doesn't know.
Right. Will Ray know?
Quite possibly.
I move over to Ray.
How am I the last person?
Because you have, like, I don't know, you have no magical ability.
To be
outside of
fair-
that.
Cool.
To be fair, your arcane is also at a 0.
He doesn't know that.
Your range of magic counts as.
I'm an elf. We're like,
Known for shooting bows.
shut up.
I'm a ranger.
Sophie,
Yes.
do me a favor and roll a d100.
Oh.
Wait, why?
I strikes you right now.
Why the D100s?
Because d100s are good at chance. Okay.
30.
Right. If Vincent does indeed go over and show you the scroll,
Yes.
make a arcane check at advantage.
Let's go. Arcana.
Mm-hmm. 16. All right.
Awesome.
I think we'll take the 16.
Thank you. I would prefer that.
Alrighty. So, you look at this scroll, and it takes a little while, but it kind of triggers something in your memory. You remember reading. In fact, no. You remember your brother talking a bit about this, although not able to cast this spell, or he was not able to cast it at the time. He did go into some detail about it, and having read through his book, which you carry with you, sorry. There are hints of it, reminders, and you're able to, with your sort of residual knowledge and his book, and sort of flicking through and checking runes off against each other, you learn that this is a spell called Tenser's Transformation. It is a 6th level wizard spell that when cast, the caster instantly gains 50 temporary hit points. They gain advantage on attack rolls that they make with any simple or martial weapon. When they hit with a weapon attack, that target takes an extra 2d12 force damage. They gain proficiency with all armors, shields, simple weapons, and martial weapons. They gain proficiency in strength and constitution saving throws, and they also gain an extra attack if they don't already have it. This is a 10-minute concentration spell, and the person who casts the spell who is affected by it. When the spell ends, they succeed on a constitution saving throw, or they take a point of
That's insane.
You can only use scrolls once,
Oh
though.
my god. Can I have it?
No.
You can't even use it.
I'll learn.
You'll learn.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think you understand how useful this could be on someone like me.
do I
About
I
half as
boast?
useful as it would be on someone like me.
And most useful on someone like Nyx.
Definitely not.
I what? No.
Disagree.
This is a wizard spell, which is essentially I want to be a tank now. I will also say that when the spell has been cast and you are concentrating on it, you cannot cast any other spell. So it does have a downside if say Nyx would use it, but this is a sort of spell which, it's essentially I want to be tank now for wizards.
I want to be a tank.
Mm-hmm.
That's that's the spell. That's what they should name it.
I want to be a tank.
Polymorph tank.
And I literally just become buff.
I mean, from your explanation of how scrolls work with regards to casting the spell, Vincent and Ray have pretty much the same chance of casting.
Wait, what? That's not true.
Ray has a higher chance of being able to cast it.
Oh.
I am part wizard.
She has a higher intelligence.
That's what
I am very intelligent.
I thought, yeah, because you got a +2 and Vincent has a. No, Vincent has a 1. +1? Or flat?
Yeah, I'm +1.
Okay.
Wow, y'all so intelligent.
Got 0, but that's
The
fine.
chances of you being able to cast a spell are a lot less than me being able to cast it. Therefore, gimme.
Therefore, I claim it. Mine. It's mine now. All mine.
Gimme.
Just want everything.
Nyx, excuse me.
I'll trade you for that hat thing that turns you into a wolf.
Oh no.
Do I get a say in this?
No.
Technically, yeah, for a ranger, it'd be your wisdom modifier.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'll trade you it for your bow.
Don't make me laugh.
Well, then you have nothing else of value.
I guess you're right.
All
I
right,
start
fine.
stroking my bow.
Teach your
Such a good
smelly
boy.
scroll.
Oh,
I
you're
look
so
forward to
beautiful.
when you try to use it.
Who says I'll try to use it? If you want it so much, it must be quite valuable. I could always use the coin.
Yeah, that's also an option. I don't mind. I'm over it.
Aren't we forgetting who could really use the coin?
Who's that?
That would be me. I could really use the coin.
You
Where did
all
your
need
coin go?
only 90 gold pieces each.
Hence why I could use the
Wrong,
coin.
untrue.
So, say you give it to me, and then I give it back to you, and that's some of my debt repaid.
You were a merchant.
I was, yeah.
Not a haggler, I guess.
I'm not surprised that you left your stalls.
I didn't do very well.
Not much business coming in.
I wasn't really the seller, I was more the producer.
Right.
There
And
was a
yet you
reason
still
for that.
buy every bow you ever use.
What do you mean?
If you were so good at producing, surely you could create your own.
Well, I'm sort of building up to that point. One day, I'll get there. But hey, I'm no master craftsman. I'd rather be a good archer than a good craftsman. Anyway, give me the thing.
Why? I mean, This is
I
like the ring
choose
all over again.
no.
Oh my god, it really is.
This is just...
I don't really want it anyway.
Yeah, me neither.
It's convenient. And I tucked my fancy scroll in the inside of my jacket.
Certainly.
Alright, the scroll's gone.
And
A jacket's like fucking TARDIS. A rogue's
Alrighty.
Looks, this is like the battle with the Lich again, where we had like an elemental thing, but then he forgets to use it. So then we all get our butts kicked, and then afterwards we use it on something really stupid.
I think we needed it on those drakes, considering
We really didn't.
we did.
We
They
used
kicked
it more on the
butts.
Lich. Oh yeah, and the Lich didn't.
Well, no, I didn't say the Lich didn't, but we definitely needed it on their drakes. You were the only person. Actually, was I okay? No, I think I nearly
Exactly.
got my arm torn off.
Yum, 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 yum,
Yeah, I
yum.
think they really liked it.
thank you, Next, I was already aware that I was the best, but
Yeah, way to go,
your
Nick.
support helps.
I kind of quickly need to go to the loo.
Go
You
for it.
guys can carry on as long as
Spot
it's
over the
something
fly,
that-
Darren.
Sure. Be right back, guys.
Close.
Oh god damn it. If it was anyone but Yllka, I could have then talked to Yllka. God damn it.
Oh, because of yeah, the ranger thing, ranger update.
Yeah,
That would be cool.
but Ozzy well.
I will start pestering Arkenfell. Now that I've figured out he does not mind, or he has not yet told me to fuck off. So. So,
So,
do you regularly use the astral sea to travel?
depends.
Do you use it to go to other planes?
Yes.
That's cool. Okay. Have you ever been to the bottom of the astral sea?
There is no bottom.
Ooh, that's cool and spooky at the same time. Okay.
You ran out of questions, Abby.
Not yet. Shush. Do you think these bodies were just moved here, or do you think they died here? Do you think the fuck, I forgot its name again. The thing.
They saw their killer.
Right. They broke the law. Okay. Well, a law, a true law. Do you know the true laws? Are there lots of true laws?
He just sort of shrugs.
I think you're annoying him.
Am I annoying you?
He doesn't reply.
See? It's fine.
Silence says it all.
Excuse you. Have you ever been to Lake Cross?
Perhaps.
Don't go. Don't recommend it. No one has the money anyway.
God, it's like a child.
Hey.
Can Rose and I spa? We've been meaning to do it for days.
Kick her butt.
You're spectating.
You don't know who I shouted that to.
Oi. I kicked you about last time we sparred.
I remember.
Am I controlling both of
I
them? Because
remember
it's
kicking your
really
butt.
quite short.
I remember kicking your butt until Vincent interfered.
Nah, I've 2v1 you.
Just roll.
I
a
did
strength-
win.
Just roll a strength check for both you and Rose, and then a constitution check for both Ray and Rose.
Right, that was a lot. So strength first.
Yeah.
Oh no. And then Rose's strength is +3. Oh no. And then a Constitution save or check.
Where did you, well, I was going to say they were both meant to be checks, but all right, you can do saves if you want.
I can do checks. Constitution check. This one is for Ray. And then this one. Oh no. This one is for Rose. Shit. She completely kicks my butt.
Wow.
Well, not completely kicks your butt, but you know the sparring.
She's 2 levels below.
It's been a little while since you've actually fought a skilled and well-trained swordsman, and who is in similar armor to you. And you begin to realize, with the sort of sparring and the fact that she gets a couple taps in on what would probably be places you wouldn't want a sword stabbing, you get 1 or 2 taps back on her. However, it reveals that your time of just swinging through some undead and not having an actual spar with someone has led to you making a few sloppy mistakes. So, for now, she appears to at least hold slightly better swordsmanship over you. However, this was just a fight of sword and shield. Perhaps it would be different if it was involving your arcane abilities as well.
I don't know, my arcane abilities aren't very aggressive.
So shield can cover your being
Oh,
hit.
yeah, that's true. Can I ask her if she can like train me, but like without the others listening, because I don't want them to know that I'm weak.
We can certainly spar some more. It'll be good for me to maintain my own skills.
That's a lot better.
That's coming back from the stern of the ship. Suspicious yellow liquid just hanging in the air behind.
Oh, no! Nate!
What?
It could have been worse.
Vile.
Could have been worse.
It could have, yeah. Luckily, I'm not a woman, like my player is. What did I miss?
Your play. Eryn,
Nick's asked some questions and Ray and Rose sparred.
thank you for being nice about it. Unlike
Okay.
some people.
Alrighty, so leaving behind the corpses and whatever else they had on them, you continue on your journey across the astral sea. The sound of sword against sword and sword against shield rings from the front lower deck of the ship as Rose and Ray engage in some sparring.
You.
Argenfell continues to man the helm, and an hour or so pass, the sparring ceases. Ulrich stretches and kind of just flops down, yawns, glances around. Nah, it's awfully dull in here sometimes.
It
Probably an
is.
hour.
It is.
Probably an hour after sparring's finished. Something interesting happened.
And that's what we call the session.
Yeah, thanks for playing that. There were a grand total of 50 minutes. As you're just going about your business, Onyxor just sat, flopped over. I don't know where everyone else is.
It's flopped over.
I'm still pestering Arkenfell. But only like
He's
a
essentially
bit-
just lying on his back, staring upwards.
just like
I love him so much.
You can just see his mouth moving to form the words board over and over and over again.
Oh,
Careful
you're
what you wish
projecting a
for.
bit there, mate.
Hmm?
You're projecting a bit there.
No, I'll be saying it. He has the common sense not to. There's a sudden spark on the. I don't want to say bridge. On the. Oh yeah, on the middle deck.
Like this deck.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Close to the handrail. Kind of. There's a glint of light there, which just hangs in the air before it twists and sparks more. Yeah, sort of whitish blue light. Sparks come flying off of it as this small. What was first a small spark grew into a flame, which then grows larger as it twists and rips itself open, revealing, or at the very least, creating a very fancy portal on
Ooh.
the center of the deck.
What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck?
You notice Argenfeld's eyes narrow as 5 individuals walk out and take their, well, I say take their place, and take place surrounding from this portal. They are long, tall creatures, taller than any of you, standing 7 to 8 feet. Most of them have somewhat shaved heads with small amounts of facial hair. They have pale, sickly green skin and almost snake slits for noses. Their eyes seem to have similar slits as snake eyes do, reptilian in nature, as they look around the ship, taking in all that are there. 4 of them are wearing half-plate armor, carrying silver swords.
Argenfeld. Are these guys
Um,
welcome here?
The 5th one is wearing full-plate armor and is carrying a greatsword. They survey over the deck. The one in full plate speaks in semi-broken common. If you surrender now, we can guarantee to spare your life. If you do not, only a few might survive.
These guys space pirates?
Pretty much.
Oh, sick.
Have they noticed me and Rose yet?
They seem to be looking more ahead at the 4 in front of them.
Can I
And
signal to
Nyx,
Rose?
you can almost hear the grinding of teeth coming from Argenfell.
Oh, he is not
Oh.
happy. Oh, this guy.
Sorry, you were saying, Sophie?
I was wondering if maybe Rose and I can get a sneaky sneak attack on them.
You can certainly try.
Well, hang on. I'm gonna wait to see what the others say because I don't know. Erin's a little shifty.
I'm sorry?
But I'm just gonna motion for her to go up or to like take place next to the stairs, but like stay.
So, like, here.
Yeah, and I'll do the same with these ones.
All right. You kind of gesture and gesticulate with your hand, and she sort of nods and turns to slowly creep across the deck. Hasn't moved yet.
Wait,
So,
what's that?
which will it be?
Vincent, say something intimidating. No.
God.
Just tell him to fuck off.
Surrender it is. Wonderful. I do love it when they lead outcast.
Yes, surrender seems good.
Wonderful. Now, if you wouldn't mind dropping all of your weapons, and we'll get you aboard.
What?
Yep. Okay. Everyone, drop your weapons.
What?
Vincent,
Come now, we don't have all day.
No, Rose and I look at each other, questioning.
Vincent.
Well, you first, Vincent.
Um. Yeah, I'll drop a dagger.
I mean,
I drop
Weapons.
one arrow. Let it clatter to the floor.
oh, I see. There's a bit of a. Since you're not doing any talking, I'm gonna try myself. I mean, I feel like there's been
Well,
a bit of a misunderstanding here. Bit of
if you're not going to
miscommunication.
drop your weapons,
I'm just going to
we'll
ignore
just have
me.
to make you drop them.
You're really rude. Gee.
Surprise attack them.
Certainly. For the sake of this, both roll stealth for both you and Rose.
Please tell me it's not disadvantage.
Yeah, it is. You're like heavy arm.
Don't worry, you'll still get your sneak. You'll still get to attack them.
This is for me, not bad. And then for Rose, give me a second. Oh, look at us.
Okay. Rose is not able to move quite as stealthily in her medium armor as you are. So, Ray, they are unaware of you, so you get to make your attacks, your first attack with advantage. As for Rose, she does. They are unfortunately aware, but she gets to make an attack on them before they can do anything.
Okay, right. I'm going to move myself there. And I'm going to take a swipe at each of them. Is it just the first one that gets advantage?
Yeah, just the first one, because they don't know you're there until you swing at them. And everyone else, if you would kindly roll initiative.
Yes!
Yeah.
Let's fuck these guys up!
Fuck 'em up. Hell yeah. That's
Way
alright.
to stroll onto a man's ship and expect it to be okay? No.
14 is not enough to hit these creatures, I am afraid. They are
No.
wearing half plate armor.
Alright, then can I use my second attack?
Yeah, you can.
Please don't. Okay.
20 does hit.
I was about to say it's a complete waste of a surprise attack otherwise. Oh, can I green flame blade?
Green flame blade.
Oh no, yeah, I wouldn't have used the second attack. Okay.
Yeah, it
sorry.
would have been an action.
Alright.
You had advantage.
She did on her first attack, but she got
And I messed up.
Oh, I see. I
she
missed.
got
I
a
missed
grand
the first
total
one.
of 14.
Ulrich's ready to beat some people up.
Yeah, well, we'll see how well that goes for you guys. Yeah, if you all want to roll,
One sec, Rose still has hers.
yeah.
I'm just taking my time because it's still a new character. So
Turn order's messed up. There we go.
13 doesn't hit.
No, it does not, I'm afraid.
Can she action? Yeah, can she action search? Action.
Yeah, I'll allow to action surge.
I don't want it to be a waste
Which
of
which one were you hitting, by the way?
With Rose, the one she's facing.
And with you, was it this one?
Same one I was
So-
facing.
This one. Okay.
Yes.
So he takes, what was it? It was 10 points of damage. Alrighty.
14. God.
And 14, unfortunately, that is not a hit.
Oh.
Now, if you want to roll your roses.
Initiative.
Yeah, Ulrich had a 20. What did Vincent get?
20.
20.
I got 17.
Right, then. Oh, not 17.
And Rose got 9.
70.
Rose got 9. Nix, what did you get?
Light
14.
initiative.
Alright. And I believe that's Rose, Ray, Ulrich, Eryn, Vincent, Nix. That's everyone. Now for the Warriors, they got, with the dex bonus, a 14, a 9, a 21, a 5, and 4. Well done, lads. Absolutely awful.
What about
Apart from
Argenfell?
you...
What about Argenfell? Is he gonna beat these people up? I saw how much he hates them.
Nah, it just makes us do it.
Alright. But you remember, he has to control the ship.
Oh, true. Okay. I'm proud of him.
Alright.
Yay.
So, it's this one's turn. And seeing that you just stabbed his friend, moves to here, and takes his 2 swings. Well, that's a hit and a miss.
Hey.
And
Natural one.
2d6. 2 plus 2d4. You take 14 points of damage, 6 of which is psychic, as this person, I will say you've actually seen these types of creatures only once before, and it wasn't that long ago. As he slides up, silver greatsword in hand, clasps it, and cuts deeply into you. Vincent, your turn.
Okay, so I will. I'll move behind Eryn.
Certainly.
Frog behind the ranger. Okay.
And then I'll end my turn for now.
All right.
Wait, time to get a bit close.
Ulrich, your turn.
Okay. Ulrich is ecstatic. He gets to punch some people.
Yeah, go over it.
So not
Woo.
bored now.
He's also just gonna be careful. We're just gonna stay in this spot here instead. We're not gonna go too far, not to him. And then he's just gonna sword one person and smack the other. Like, if I remember
Alright.
correctly, he has a different hit for his sword. Oh no, it's the
Shouldn't
same
be.
thing.
They're both dex based.
Okay, so we'll just do a 2d5 then.
Did you just say 2d5?
2d20 plus 5, I meant, sorry. 2d20
Well,
plus
a
5.
7 misses. A 25, however, definitely hits. Well, roll his unarmed strike at, as a critical.
Nice.
Eryn, you're up next.
Ulrich!
That's a
Oh
total of
no.
5 points of punchy damage to the face.
Ulrich!
Just that
As
he's
he swings the sword, this long-limbed creature is able to just elegantly step out of the way and just catch the blade with their own and kind of pry it away and start laughing, and there's just a whoosh as his fist just comes up and slams into this creature's face. It kind of staggers back slightly and rubbing its jaw.
Go Ulrich!
Eryn, your turn.
Firstly, I'm going to cast Hunter's Mark on that guy.
Certainly.
Hunter's Mark. And I'm going to do a hit at him. and then I'm gonna use my horde breaker to hit the guy next to him. So I'll do the
You would
first hit.
need to move here just because Ulrich sort of
Move where? Sorry.
just moved you one over.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, you're kind of shooting at Ulrich.
Oh, yeah, we don't want that.
Don't shoot Rose.
So that's the one on the guy.
11 does not hit, I'm
And
afraid. As you draw arrow and release, the cooling from Ulrich's strike means that where he once was and where your arrow is going to strike true just sails past and continues on throughout the astral sea.
and then I'm gonna use my horde breaker to hit the next guy.
Okay.
Come on, really?
You release another arrow and Ulrich just catches it and looks at you.
Sorry. And then I'm gonna use my second hit to again hit the original guy. Please, please. Ah, thank you.
25? That hits.
Okay. Decent.
16 points of damage. As he's sort of recalling and seeing this, he begins to, like, there's a beginning of a chuckle, and there's a as the arrow just sticks into one of his lungs, and it coughs up a bit of blood.
That's what I like to see.
Ray, your turn.
I'm going to green flame blade, the one that I was originally attacking.
The one, most certainly.
So, d20 plus. So it's roll to hit and one. Oh, I don't know. I'm lost. Natural.
That hits.
Okay. I forget how green flame blade works.
So you roll. Suffers the attack's normal effects. So you are. That is a D8 plus 4. Plus and another D8, the first target. So that is a grand total of 19 points of damage to this one in front of you. Doesn't look too happy about it as you bring your sword up, yell an incantation, and bring it slashing down. The fire engulfs this blade and leaps across him, cutting as you cut into him. Cut into him. You begin to cauterize the wound itself, causing more pain as the fire jumps off to which creature?
The one who attacked me, I would try and
Certainly.
go for the
And
guy.
roll a d8 plus 2. As that deals 18 points of fire damage to this guy.
Shit!
It's a critical. What do you expect?
I don't usually get those.
Yeah, lucky for you, they're not actually resistant to anything. So, woo, go Ray.
Go me!
Deals a shit ton of damage. The one in front of you being kind of wounded.
That's more than I could have hoped for.
Now, this guy going to step to here.
Ulrich, no.
Actually, yeah, no, he would stay there and then make his 2 attacks on Ulrich.
Ulrich, no.
That is a 16, which I believe
That just hits. That is his armor class.
2d6 plus. What was it? 2d6 plus 2 plus 2d4. That is a grand total of 12 points of damage, 2 of which are psychic as this creature steps to the side, swings once Ulrich's able to quickly dart out of the way, but he doesn't anticipate the speed at which this creature is able to bring the sword back around and cutting into him.
Excuse
Nyx, your turn.
me. Okay. Well, no, original plan's still fine. I'm gonna, just kind of push myself up against the front bit here, because I'm assuming you, like, it's a little barrier, and then the deck below is lower.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you can see through it.
Okay. I'm hoping. Does this bring... Yes, it does bring me within 30 feet of Rose. Great. I want to cast Bless at level 3. And bless everyone but myself and Arkenfell.
Let's go. Very nice.
Certainly.
Lovely.
Bless.
Oh,
Right,
no.
let's go. Bless. Where's my
right.
concentration marker? There it is.
So, which marker was I using for bless again? I think it was that one. Ye are all blessed.
We got the 1d4 back, my dudes. There's my level
You got your bless back.
Got my bless. Oh, I was so upset when I couldn't use it.
Alrighty. Next, if that's your turn, Rose, it's yours.
So I'm gonna move back a bit. I'm gonna hide
Right.
back a bit.
Rose is gonna hit the one, oh god, the one that tried to attack Ulrich
And also successfully attacked.
and successfully attacked Ulrich.
Ulrich. No.
22, that's better.
22 hits, even without the additional d4.
Okay, and that's a 1d8 plus 3.
Seven
Seven
points of
points of
damage.
damage.
Alrighty.
Nice roll.
So Rose sort of swings around, sword cuts into this guy's sort of exposed side after he finished his own attack on Ulrich, and he turns and towards Rose.
No.
In a puff of mist, he just appears next to Nyx.
Motherfucker. He's got
I'm guessing I didn't get an opportunity to attack.
Nope, this is Misty Step.
Misses
Yeah.
a step. He has magic. No, 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 no.
Weirdly enough, you did not see him do any forms of show that he was casting magic. No hand gestures, no muttering, just kind of looked and he forms near. Actually, to be fair, he would have to form there. That's what you can see.
Ah,
And now makes his 2 attacks.
no, no, no.
With 2 natural ones! That's like-
No.
as he sort of swings his sword, it kind of loosens slightly and just kind of looks down as he's very almost just cut into his own leg.
So 2 natural ones. What even is that, Nate?
Can I just use my
Hey,
reaction
I rolled to
push the
confirm, and he
sword?
didn't hit himself.
Can I just push the blade into?
Do you want to touch this blade, which deals psychic damage?
Nope. I forgot about the psychic part.
He sort of looks down and awkwardly pulls the sword out of the deck and readies himself to make another attack.
You should just go home. Just go back.
This guy is not very happy with you, Ray, and he gets a hit.
Shield. I'm a shielder.
Shield. All right. What does that take your AC up to?
25?
What's your AC?
23.
Uh,
I think. Look at shield.
Alrighty then. So as you bring your sword, as he brings his sword swinging down for the first strike, you quickly throw your shield up, and a blue field just ripples out from it, and it catches the sword. Kind of just takes a step back.
Oh, can I attack him? Oh, no, I can't. That was my reaction.
Cast shield. This guy, he's gonna look around. He's gonna spot Vincent. I don't like the look of you hanging there.
Not many of us do.
Uh,
You're just jealous because you
Vincent.
got the scroll.
I need you to make a strength saving
Shut up,
throw.
Eryn.
Luckily, strength is one of my most poignant assets.
Yeah, with those like rippling abs, constantly show off.
All right. With an 11, you suddenly feel your arms press against your body as you are suddenly and very rapidly lifted 30 feet up off the deck. Up you go.
No.
Seems like cheating, quite frankly.
He is now concentrating. However, he has just cast telekinesis on you. So you are currently yep. So you are currently just floating in the sky, 30 feet off the ground.
I'm not
Okay.
happy about it.
Yep. You're probably not very happy about it, but he doesn't care. You are also currently, I should also state that currently, I believe it's restrained. Yes.
Oh wait,
You
did
are
you
currently
roll
restrained.
you didn't roll the 1d4 for the saving throw?
Oh yeah, bless.
Bless. Just roll 1d4s for everything.
Nope. Still lifted up.
Ah,
Oh,
well, we tried.
You tried. You didn't get very far.
Hmm.
Right, this warrior not too happy with Ray either for setting him on fire. Nope. He swings, just slamming into the arcane shield. Not much happening. Alrighty. He is actually going to take a step to the side. Vincent, you're suspended in air. What do you do?
it's a good point. Hold on one sec.
So your speed is currently 0. Creatures would have advantage against attacking you, but you're 30 feet in the air.
Can I throw a dagger at him?
Yes, you can. But you do have disadvantage because you are also restrained.
Not a problem.
Which one are you throwing your dagger at?
The guy restraining me.
Certainly.
How do I calculate to hit on thrown daggers?
It's the same as your normal attack.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So a weapon can be used to, yeah.
I thought it was different for some reason.
No, because a dagger can be strength or dex based, and so throwing it can be either as well. You can either throw it really hard that it knocks them unconscious, or
7. Technically a natural 1.
you kind of throw the dagger and it just sort of limply flies forward before just in a small arc down and just kind of landing gently on the deck of the ship.
Why is it only me who hits other people and they get a natural 1?
Because that's 2 natural ones and then they start hitting things.
Yeah,
And
don't worry.
I ask you to confirm things as well.
Let's forget, Eryn, it's not just anyone. It's only me. You only hit me.
Because, to be fair, it's normally you're there, and most of the time it just bounces off of Rick.
That's true.
You do
Don't
roll
forget,
to
Ulrich
see if you can
caught
hit that
as,
Doesn't
spell.
make the betrayal
an arrow.
any less painful.
I'm not betraying you!
It's fine. Arsene's done it multiple times as well.
Yep. I mean, Arsene also managed to ricochet a shot around a corridor and take out the skeleton in the back. But that's beside the point.
I love
Ulrich's turn.
4 natural ones in a row. Oh. Right, Ulrich. Realizing arrows. Whoop. We're gonna do. So if he wants to do flurry of blows, it's 3d20 plus 5 because it makes his bonus action 2 hits rather than 1 hit. Okay. Go, Ulrich. Ulrich.
Oh Lord!
Ulrich.
See, you jinxed it. You made
swing, punch, other punch. Do you want to roll another d20 for me?
Oh.
How am I gonna hit Rose all the way over there?
How long is his arms?
I have 4.
As he swings, the sword begins to loosen from his hand, and he sort of, oh shit! As it begins to fly towards, he just is able to catch it. However, his attack is ineffectual.
Ulrich.
Eryn, your turn.
Oh boy. Okay, well, I'm gonna try hitting that guy again.
Certainly.
Does that hit?
Nope, I'm afraid not.
Oh. Okay, so here's the dilemma. Either I hit him again, or I try and distract him to get Vincent back on the ground. Because Vincent's,
The second option.
it would help us in the long run, I think.
If you dare hit me again, I'm throwing you overboard.
I'm just thinking, would I actually do that? I think I would. It was nice having someone to, like, kind of cover me. Yeah, I'm gonna try hitting the big
From
dude.
what? The side of the
Personally.
ship.
Yeah, I guess. Please.
18 just hits.
Yay! I hope he drops him. No,
7 points of damage. He does not maintain concentration.
Yay! And can I also, this banister here, that's...
Vincent, make a dex saving throw, please.
Can I, like, hide behind the banister?
You certainly can. That's DEX saving throw.
Yeah.
I kinda...
+6, I got a 9.
You take 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh, shit.
Actually, you know what? No, we'll make that 5.
Gotta think about movement in this place. You did this to yourself.
I wasn't taking
We'll make
damage
that
when I was in the
5.
air.
Yeah, you weren't taking damage in the air, and then you're now just hit the ground thanks to your wonderful friend.
You're welcome.
He's no longer concentrating, and he cannot do that again. Ray, your turn.
Okay, interesting question for the DM. My shield says it lasts until my next turn. Does that count my next turn?
Start.
Oh, so it's gone now.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Otherwise,
will.
it would say until the end of your next turn. Such
Okay.
as with Monk's stunning strike ability.
I will turn and try and hit this guy.
17 hits, just.
6.2
Points
damage.
of damage. You kind of swing and get into him. It is now this one's turn. Boop. Nope. With a 10, he misses. Eryn, he's sort of drawing back another arrow. He disappears. Shit, where is he? And as you sort of lean around the banister to look, you just hear as the sword sticks into the banister, just where your head was.
Oh.
Nix, your turn.
Who? I don't like the big dude. So we gonna move here. But sorry, excuse me, I gotta, excuse me. Alright, excuse me, kind of in the middle of, I want to drop a spiritual weapon here.
Certainly.
Gotta smack a
Let me-
guy. Wait, do I have? I definitely do have spiritual weapon, don't I? I do. Okay, it's +6 to hit. Boop. I feel like that doesn't hit because he's in full plate armor.
17 does not hit the big guy.
Not so.
It hits the smaller ones.
Time to turn around, and we're going for this dude. And casting Toll the Dead. You gotta make a wisdom save. Whilst you do that, I will
Yep,
take
no. Even with their plus, they do not make that.
and he's already taken damage, hasn't he?
Yep.
Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho.
19 points of damage.
From the cantrip.
Jeez.
Oh, Toll the Dead.
As he appears and kind of steps back from Eryn, you just point your hand towards him, and his hands just clasp to his head as you begin to see sort of blackish purple ichor run out of what you believe is probably meant to be his ear.
Fucking leave!
I give him a
Rose.
thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Yeah.
Hang on. Okay. She is going to cast warding bond on. Is she seeing Nix right now?
Yeah, sure, we'll allow that.
It's fine.
Alright, she'll cast on Eryn then.
Oh, thank you.
Alrighty. Eryn, I believe, if I remember, does that one increase your AC?
So
I don't
read it.
remember.
Yeah, it is by 1.
Increases your AC by
Um,
1, and you take half damage. However, any damage you
Oh my
take,
god.
Rose also takes.
Oh my god. I give Rose a thumbs up.
So many thumbs up.
Alrighty.
She's too serious to reply. She's
I
a
forget, is
serious.
respond a bonus action or an
Enough
action?
fun around here.
Sure, it's an action. It's an action here.
Alrighty. So then, that makes it this gift's turn.
Oh, thank
You're
God,
only
I
putting
can't
off
do
the
it.
inevitable.
Vincent's actually thinking about it.
18?
18 hits. 17. Oh no.
2d6 plus 2 plus 2d4. 16 total points of damage. Make a constitution saving throw, please.
Woo!
Ooh.
Fuck you, it's my bless.
Mm-hmm. You maintain it.
We haven't been adding bust to anything.
Nope. You guys have been
Yeah, I
forgetting.
keep forgetting.
Whoops.
I'm more than happy to let you.
Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? We're just gonna put this up here.
Righty, with that guy's turn done, it's going to be this one. Who is going to take a step forward. Is going to 17. Does that hit you, right?
Nope.
All right. Sword swing and just glances off your shield as you kind of knock the blade away. It's going to not there. He's going to move there. Resistance will only lead to you dying.
Everyone's dying, are you?
Hell, even if you kill us, we'll only invoke the rest of the might. La Bruja. And then he's going to trot as much as one can in full plate armor.
I feel like the Astral Sea is just a place to piss off lots of people.
Shit,
It
they
really
still
is.
have an open portal.
Hmm?
They still have an open portal right now.
Yes, they do.
Oh god.
With 2 20s, I believe those hit, Rose.
Shield.
Ooh. Both sword strikes glance off the shield.
It's such a get out of jail free card.
Right. Angelfeld is going to turn to this guy and essentially just grab him by the face and turn to look into his eyes. D20,
I can
to which he
tell.
unfortunately succeeds.
Oh,
And
I
just
tried.
slaps the face away before turning back to the helm.
Thank you for trying.
Skiff.
Oh no.
Natural 20.
Oh no.
Jesus Christ, this is the game of crits.
Apparently so. 2d6 plus 2 plus 2d4. That is, oh dear, 36 points of damage.
Oh my god.
10, 20, 28, 31, 34, 35, 30, yeah, 36 points of damage to Ray. As he just steps forward. First blow, you're able to once again parry with your shield. Second one, he just brings it down and just skewers it through you before withdrawing the blade. Alrighty. Don't forget to remove that. Vincent, your turn.
I was gonna say, you have a lot of hit
I'm
points.
assuming I'm prone.
Whoa, no, you're really quiet.
Hello. Well, the only person I've heard speak now is Yllka.
I don't know
Oh,
what to do.
so I'm still here, don't worry.
Lewis, Sophie?
Yeah, I'm here. Is microphone is really quiet for me. We're figuring.
So 36 hit points away from Ray. And Vincent, what are you doing?
Did you just advertise my hit points?
Can you hear me?
I said 36 hit points away from you. As in, you took 36 hit points of damage from that natural 20.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were talking about Nyx.
No!
No, you.
You got skewered.
Wait, 36?
Yeah.
Yeah, you got
I'm
skewered.
out.
Oh, damn. Wait, seriously?
Yeah, I only had 36 from the last one. He took like, what,
Fucking
14?
hell. These guys
I'm
are
down.
brutal when they crit.
Mm-hmm. That's
guess
why
it's
I'm
'cause of a
so
lot of die
glad they've
rolls.
not been rolling it well.
Sorry, I was trying to help Lou with his microphone. I didn't realise we were talking about me, not Nyx. I was just like, oh, I pity the person who got that natural 20.
I feel like the person who got that natural 20. Oh, wait a second.
Whoever that is, I feel so sorry for them.
I don't know what to do about me being quiet.
Oh, God, now you're loud.
Hey!
All right, what you doing, Vincent? Ray just got skewered like a fucking kebab.
Please
So
don't
I'm assuming I'm prone.
Yeah.
Well, I'll use half my.
No. You landed on your feet.
Okay. I'm up, and in my poor judgment, I'm going to charge at this guy and stab him
Certainly. Poor judgment away.
for being because he attacked me, and that offends me.
Because he just removed you. 18 just hits.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
For removing you from battle by just going up, up, up you go.
Let me hit him with my 3d6, like I do.
Certainly.
Yeah.
14. Yeah, 14 points of damage.
Then I hit him with the disengage and scarper.
So as you run forwards, you just Superman punch style thrust forwards, straight in between the rings of the chainmail around the joints, so going up into and probably through part of his shoulder before you withdraw and scarper. Ulrich, your turn.
Oh man, oh man, oh man. Oh yeah, you can easily get there. Ulrich's just seen this. Fucking excuse me. You know what he's doing? Not hitting people. Oh, he hits once.
Hits once. Sword swing in his fury, just blinded by rage and the pure enjoyment of it being in battle. Swings too soon, swings the sword too soon, swings his fist, which kind of the gift just notices and ducks out of the way, but a follow-up punch hits squarely into his side, dealing 6 points of damage. He don't look too good.
Oh my god.
Eryn, your turn.
Okay. So this guy that's in front of me, because I'm like crouching down, I'm just gonna like aim my arrow like upwards directly into his face and see if I can hit him.
Certainly.
Oh!
Holy
Would you like to roll your damage?
Yeah.
All of his draw.
How do you want to do this?
Easily.
So I'm just like, because he kind of scared me, like coming up behind me, just quickly like aim into his face and just let it go in between his eyes.
So as he's sort of stepping back, preparing for another swing, he starts the swing. You're like, oh shit, release the arrow. And as his sword comes down, it splits the arrow perfectly in two as the two halves hit into his eyes. And he just collapses over
Oh, Nate, you made that so badass.
dead.
Hell
Thank
yeah.
you. Oh, but I have another hit.
You do.
Sorry. Turning around. I'm going to hit this big guy again.
Or try to.
Try
Fuck
to, yeah.
that, dude.
Come on. Oh!
24 hits.
Oh, can I transfer my hunter's
I'll let
mark?
you.
But, I'm not going to transfer it onto him.
Okay.
Actually, no, yeah, transfer it. Fuck it, transfer it onto him.
Okay.
Sorry.
Roll your damage. 16. Nice.
And then I'm gonna just move back.
Seeing the opening in the chainmail which Vincent made, and him sort of lifting up arm to look at the damage, you see the opening. Whoosh, the arrow goes through the same hole.
Oof,
As he pulls it
Yeah.
out and glares at you.
that's gotta hurt.
Not happy.
Oh boy.
Ray, death saving throw, please.
Can you add bless to death
No.
saving throws? Fuck.
This one fail. Death saving throw is different to a saving throw.
Fine, it's fine, it's fine. You're right. I'll get you up next time.
Since they are specifically a death saving throw. And that is one failure for Ray. She's got 2 left. Nyx, your turn.
Well, I already know well, I'm going to assume a herd ray go down, but I don't know if I can see her from up there.
This is a mast.
What if I move to the other side of Arkenfell?
You certainly could.
Sure.
No, not from there, because that'll be looking down and you'll be blocked by.
Oh well, I'll take it.
Alright, he will swing at you.
But I miss. That
Does
hits.
not miss. $11 points of damage.
Oh, this throws a spanner in the works of what I want to do, but do I care?
Concentration check. Just make it.
Yeah, I do. Okay. Yeah, you know what? This will be fine. This will be fine. You know what we're doing. You know what you're doing. I don't care that you hate it.
Wait.
I don't know why the 3's there. Okay. Oh, that was my exact hit point. Fuck your life transference.
I hate the spell.
However,
Weirdest
Ray.
spell.
I should have used my spiritual weapon before I went down, but I thought I
Should've.
might make it.
What? 18 times 2, isn't it?
Yes, so you get.
36 hit points.
Oh, look at that.
Ray, you gasp back to life as Nyx just collapses to the floor.
Whoop. There you go.
Rose.
Rose is. Shall I cast the spell? No, she's just gonna hit it. Or try to.
Certainly. I assume you stand up.
Rose is prone.
Oh no, sorry, it's Rose, isn't it? Yeah, no, Rose. Yep, roll to it. Blah blah. Brain not working.
That's alright.
How the fuck do you do the thing where you like make a point?
Q.
Thank you. Oh, cool.
Sorry, my laptop's slow for some reason. There we
Oh
go.
wait, no.
12 does not hit, I'm afraid. Rose swings, and although having been distracted by the recent damage dealt to him, he's just sort of, although distracted, just whoosh, her sword slams against the plate, not able to do much. Doof, doof. You gonna drop your swords, or do you want your friend to die?
No.
No.
What are you gonna do?
I stand up and aim an arrow at him.
I'll take that as a no.
What did you do?
Make a move and I'll kill you now. No!
Oh, I think only one of those hits.
Only one of those
Only
hits,
one
you
hit.
lucky
Oh my God.
fuck.
Oh my god, I
Yeah.
literally saw 38 and started panicking. Holy shit.
Nyx is on 2 failed death saving throws.
Oh my god.
Hello? Maybe. We'll
Oh
see.
my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my
I'm
god,
not
Abby,
dead
I'm so
yet.
sorry.
It's fine.
As he slams down and cuts into the vessel. pulls the sword up and just slams it into Nyx's neck. Eryn,
Oh
you
my
see a vast amount of blood beginning to rush out. Now,
Oh
this
my god.
one on the deck sort of looks up. You should have finished it. For he slams down against Ray. Ray is currently prone, so he has advantage. That's a hit and a hit.
I'm a shield. Can I
You got a
shield?
shield? Yes, you
I
can
just
shield.
came back from death, but do I still have a
That
reaction?
means 24. I think that's one hit, isn't it?
Yeah, I want it.
2d6 plus 2 plus 2d4. 14 points of damage to Ray. As she shields Gift Knight.
Oh, can I? Is that Misty Step again?
Yeah, it's a Misty Step. He has 3 of them.
Asshole.
Those both hit with a +9.
Yeah, they do.
I don't like you.
Well, the feeling's mutual.
You have a +1 to AC. I don't know if that can.
It doesn't, unfortunately. I just checked in my head.
In which case, you have
You have
resistance,
resistance to this damage,
Oh, Rose.
but you're also hurting Rose.
but you are also hurting Rose. And that, I'm afraid.
Jeez.
So 15 points of damage to you, Eryn.
Okay,
15
okay.
points of
Oh.
damage to
I can
Rose.
take that. Luckily, it's not 30. Holy shit.
If you'd also like to make a Constitution saving throw,
Yeah.
please, for your concentration.
Ugh. Bye-bye.
Hunter's Mark fizzles out. Argenfeld turns, slaps his person around the face again. Let's see if he fucking finally.
Yes, Arkenfell. I knew my pest
Not that
wasn't
Nyx
annoying.
can see the gaze just lock eyes with this creature and the fear which suddenly seems to come from it.
Wait, what happens if you die on the astral plane? Astral sea? Astral plane, wait.
Well,
Isn't that the
momentum is
Say
persistent
things
here,
like
so if you get punched, you will just keep on flying until you hit into something.
Woo!
Okay, this creature is now afraid of Argenfell.
no one's gonna
Thank you,
die.
Arkenfell.
This warrior take a step and take a swing at 2 swings at Ulrich. Okay, look, my rolls are going back to normal.
Thank
That's 2,
God.
just 2 swings, 2 complete misses. Vincent, your turn.
Okay, so I'm gonna mix things up and do exactly the same as I always do.
Yeah. Mwah, perfection.
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna do the exact same thing I always do. Stab him in the back. Miss.
That is a miss, I'm afraid. You run forwards, you go to stab, the backswing of the sword comes dangerously close to your face, and you stop mid-swing and then just start walking away slowly.
And then hopefully, before he notices, I disengage back to where I was. Looking none the wiser.
With skill and panache. Ulrich, your turn.
Oh, who does he punch? You said this guy here was looking rough.
Mm-hmm.
And we've
They
got-
both look bloodied, but that one behind Ray is looking rough.
Okay. Ulrich!
You know, oh, wait, no, your bless no longer exists there, does it?
Uh-huh.
I forgot that.
Also, I think that
so-
was his third or fourth. I think that was his third key point.
He has 4 of them.
I know. I was just trying to remember how many I'd used.
Unfortunately, a 16 is not quite enough.
Poor Ulrich. Having a rough time.
Yeah, but he also got a critical, so, you know. With that, it is Eryn's turn.
Okay, Eryn, after seeing the blood spurt out of Nyx's neck, is gonna panic and cast Zephyr Strike on himself and run towards her
You sure you want to do that?
That's one spell.
What do you mean, am I sure?
'Cause
You can only cast one leveled spell a turn.
Oh no. No.
I'm sorry.
So
Can't
before
do
you make
that.
that decision,
Well, I need to get to Nyx.
It's okay.
Need to get to Nyx.
I could get a nat 20, it's fine.
No.
You're getting that one.
I'm dead if I roll below a 10, so it's.
Okay. I'm going to send a prayer to my god, Galavar.
You
And,
got
Gulliver's
6 seconds.
Travels.
It better be quick.
Fire and
and I'm
wagon.
gonna make I'm gonna make a run for it and pray that he doesn't hit me and he doesn't have Sentinel. Yep. I'm gonna do it.
So, are you just running from him?
I mean, I can't use my action.
No.
Yeah.
So he will get an attack of opportunity.
Yep. Please to all the RNGesuses out there.
25 hits, I'm afraid.
Does he have Sentinel?
Hmm?
No.
Does he have Sentinel?
No.
Okay, praying to the gods that I survive.
20.
But that's halved, right?
That is halved,
Oh,
so
yeah,
you
'cause of
take
warding bomb.
10, and Rose takes 10.
Oh, Rose, bless you.
I'm gonna kneel down to Nyx and put my hands on her chest and cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
Certainly.
So I need to remind myself 2d8 plus 2. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Oh lord.
You know, this would be so much more tense with battle music. 8 hit points.
Okay.
Nyx is alive.
Woo.
Ray, your turn.
Right, I'm gonna get up.
Certainly.
I'm not up already. And then I will just stab at this one.
Certainly. Roll you to hit. Fortunately, 13 misses.
24.
24 hits. For sure.
7 points of damage.
7 cut into him. He kind of staggers back. The wounds now visibly open, blood beginning to seep out from underneath the breast. Is it half plate? Did I say? The semi-amounted plate, panting heavily, locking eyes with you, not looking too happy. Gonna do anything else?
No.
Alrighty. Nyx, your turn.
I stand up. Oh, spiritual weapon's gone.
No, it isn't.
Is it not?
It's not a concentration spell. It hangs around.
Oh, shit. Goo. Before I forget. Miss.
Ulrich just sort of watches as this spiritual hammer passes over his head like a helicopter blade.
Look, I'm kind of like, there's blood in my eyes. I don't know what's going on.
There's blood on your face, you big disgrace. Your town all over.
Anyway.
Where did Rose go?
Oops, did I accidentally... Sorry.
You delete Rose.
I didn't mean to.
Can you delete one of the baddies?
You delete the bad
There you
one.
go, deleted one of the baddies.
Oh.
Yay.
The dead one, but
Right.
still.
Oh god, do I heal? Or do I attack? Do I protect or do I attack?
Heal!
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't you use life transfer? Self.
Okay. worth it.
I don't think you can. I think it specifies it has to be someone else, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I can't use that myself. That would be so OP. Imagine using life transference on yourself. Jesus.
Just get you to the same. Oh no, because it's doubled, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um. Blah. Wait. What health's Ray on? I can't see her health bar.
Your health. I was gonna say Ray's there.
Okay. Oh, you're fine.
I'm healthy.
You're
There you go.
fine.
Plump health
Yeah,
bar.
we're just gonna do another Toll the Dead. Well, not another one, because I haven't told the dead this guy. I'm gonna do a Toll the Dead on this guy.
Which one's this guy?
The one in front of me. He just stabbed me. I don't like him.
All right. He succeeds.
Bastard.
It's now his turn. And he is.
Why didn't you just heal yourself?
I don't want to waste healing on me. Healing's for you guys.
But you can't heal us if you're unconscious.
Okay.
We'll deal with
he's
that
gonna-
problem later.
So, your next character, do they have healing spells?
Yeah.
Oh,
gonna pop out of there and run.
Did he Misty Step? Or did he run?
Yeah.
Okay.
He
What a
misty stepped.
coward.
He has more than one
He's
Misty
afraid.
Step.
He was literally afraid.
Oh, true. Argenfell, you're amazing, and thank you for saving my life.
Noticing that this is. Actually, no.
Did you just thank Argenfell?
Yeah.
Well, thank you too, Eryn, for healing me. But you know, I was just gonna get stabbed again.
That's a miss and a miss.
You already know I love you. Oh, miss.
Where do you think you're going? That's an 18 and a 17.
I think there's.
I think those hit.
Yep.
I feel like Rose hasn't been in ages.
Wait, are those hitting me?
Yes.
Yeah. Where has Rose gone?
I think because you deleted
I think
her, she
Rose
missed
is.
her turn.
Yeah, Rose is meant to be before the is meant to be before him and that gift warrior, which just failed at attack.
Okay, good.
Take Rose's go.
Alright, can you put him back to where he was?
Yep.
I'm gonna
he
cast.
was there.
Thank you.
I'm gonna cast. What's the jewel one? Compelled. And he has to beat a wisdom saving throw. 12.
He does not make it.
Yay!
So, on a failed save, the creature is drawn to you, compelled by your
Powered by your divine command for the duration, has a disadvantage on attack.
other than you.
Creatures other than you. You must
Yeah.
make a wisdom saving throw each time it attempts to move to a space that is more than 30 feet away from you. If it succeeds on the saving throw, the spell doesn't restrict the target's movement for that turn. Any attack.
Oh, I didn't even have to move. Can I move her back?
No, you don't have to.
Cool.
The spell ends if you attack any other creature. You cast a spell that targets a hostile creature other than the target. If a creature friendly to you damages the target or casts a harmful spell on it, or if you end your turn more than 30 feet away from it. So as long as you're within 30 feet, all good. Okay, that gift fails its life's job, and alright.
Oh no. Who's
You
the
have
end of
compelled
this?
it to duel. That is a 12 and a 19.
One hit. How bad could it be?
Well, she doesn't take half damage from this, so
No.
19 points of damage.
Alright, Rose is out.
Poof. Rose is unconscious.
Use it wisely.
Okay.
This gift is going to attempt to circle.
No. Can I attack him?
Yep. You haven't used shield yet. 19 hits.
19.
Never mind, he does not circle.
6.
6 points of damage. He will, however, still try and attack Ulrich, and 15 does not hit Ulrich. Fucking fails. Vincent, your turn.
Okay. I mean, I don't do any healing or anything, so I'm just gonna stab people.
Yeah.
Only you'd looked at think or soon.
Oh, that's not good.
Nope.
God.
Do you wanna roll that again?
No,
No.
Nate. I don't care that she's your NPC. You can't do that. She's a
No.
You cut off your little finger on your left hand.
Fuck.
Oh no.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God.
And weirdly enough, only take a point of damage for it.
I cut off my finger.
Yes.
How?
I'll put it back on. Don't worry about it.
You cut off your little finger on your left hand.
I think it's easy to fix. Don't even worry.
That's easy to fix. Dying now, that's slightly harder.
Now that is
I'm just happy
expensive.
you didn't kill my character.
I disengage. Go
So
and lick my wounds.
you pick up your little finger off the ground and scurry away, pressing it to the stump, going, "Please heal." I should probably know it's only like the tip of your little finger, so
Yeah.
only the first segment of it.
You can still put it back if you want to.
Yeah. Ulrich,
Yes,
your turn.
I need it.
Oh
Best
wait,
part.
that's me. Ulrich's just gonna.
He's a hand model, don't you know?
Sure, I'm gonna. Ulrich's gonna turn around. He doesn't like being stabbed in the back. Am I out of key points? Is he out?
You had one left.
Sure, go
One
for
key
Ulrich.
point left.
Go. Ulrich! Ulrich,
That's 2
bless
hits.
you. Okay, well the first.
And
Is
a
one of them
critical
a-
with the sword.
Nice.
Bless you, Ulrich. There's the sword.
7.
Fuck you, Ulrich. I mean, I'm kidding, Ulrich. I love you. You're amazing.
7.
2 sevens. 14.
He's looking rather damaged.
Yay!
Eryn.
Ulrich.
Your turn.
I don't know what to do. Do I heal next because she never heals herself, or do I get to attacking shit?
We
So
can
that
heal ourselves when people are dead.
okay, all right. So out of the 2 little footmen that are fighting Ray and Ulrich,
You
who?
can see this one.
Sorry.
You can only really see this. And actually, no.
okay.
With a height, if you move to the edge with the height advantage, you can see them both. They're both looking pretty beaten up. It's quite hard to tell which one's closer.
Ah, damn! If only they were standing 5 feet from each other. Ugh.
There is a pole here.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna just hit this guy because he's close to me to begin with.
so you'll need to sort of move there to be able.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm in the way.
I'm gonna save my spells. I'm just gonna hit them. Oh, thank God.
28 hits.
Okay.
How do you want to do this?
Oh yes.
That's the exact HP it was on.
Oh my God.
Yes.
I'm gonna try and give it so because I've had so many traumatic experiences with hitting Ray. I'm gonna try and give it just enough momentum to make sure the arrow stops just as it comes out of his forehead.
That's some nightmare
as you're
fuel for me.
Ray, as you're slashing at the person who was just attacking Ulrich, you suddenly feel a thump on your back. As you turn around, you just see this creature slide off your armor and hit to the floor with an arrow just protruding out of the side of its head.
Does my armor now have a tasteful tint?
Of blacky purple blood.
Oh.
Seen it later. It's fine.
And then I have another shot,
Yes. You do,
but
but
I can't really see anyone at the moment.
Shoot
Except the big dude.
if you step forward, you could probably shoot at him. Actually, you'd have to step. You'd have to be there to be able to see him.
Well, what I'm considering is
Or you could step back to there.
would you allow me to try and do a skill check, or would that be using my action?
No, you can try and do a skill shot if you want.
Oh.
Just don't forget that there's Rose unconscious and bleeding out on the floor.
No, a skill check. A skill check.
Skill check. What are you trying to do?
I just wanted to ask if I can see through the portal, or if I can kind of get a sense of maybe how to close it. Maybe how to close
roll a perception check.
it. Okay, I'm good at that. Okay, that's good.
Glancing through it, you can't really see much. It seems dark, murky. Your dark vision doesn't allow you to see. Simply just because of the range and the arcane effects of this portal. To close it, maybe something on the other side, a dispel magic of sorts, something along those lines.
Ah,
Okay.
fuck.
Okay. All right. Okay, that's it. That's my turn.
All right, Ray, your turn.
Seeing that he just I am gonna, I don't know, one sec. Okay. I'm gonna run around Ulrich
All right.
to here.
You do invoke an attack of opportunity
Yeah.
because you leave his threatened area. 22.
Fuck. I'm gonna use my last shield.
Okay, you shield. You don't get your reaction back to the start of your next turn.
Yeah. And then
You hear the sound of the slashing as the sword bounces off your arcane shield.
cool. And then I'm gonna lightning lure. Oh wait. I can't cast 2 spells, can I?
Lightning lure is a cantrip. You can cast it.
Cool. I'm gonna cast lightning lure on the big guy trying to get him away from Rose. And he has to succeed in a strength.
Natural 20, I'm afraid.
Ah,
The lure
hopefully I
wraps
got
around
its
him and
attention.
cracks as you try and pull it back.
Alright. That's my turn.
All right, Nyx, your turn.
I'm only a little one. Oh, not there. Can I see Rose?
No,
Okay, we jump.
Please save her.
make a dex check.
Don't fall over.
Nyx, dex.
I know I'm rolling it. I failed it, but you know.
Pull yourself up, leap, kind of land heavily and ankle. You take a point of damage.
Can I see her yet?
Not yet.
Oh god.
Why are you so big? Okay.
He's wearing plate
9,
armor.
10.
Like moving to there, and you can see her.
Move. Oh, what? One step forward.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'll just pull myself away. Okay. Hi. Don't mind me. We're fine. This is okay. Wait. Let me just double check. I do have healing word prepared. Thank the gods. Second level. Which is / 2d4 plus 2.
Can you still move your spiritual weapon?
Only
Yeah.
as a bonus action.
But that is my bonus action, that healing.
10 points of healing.
And then I'm gonna. Should I use to? Yes, just hold the dead's fine. Yeah, sure, go. Oh wait. Hey, we'll go. No. Let's do shocking grasp. I'll have advantage because he's wearing metal.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
20 plus 4. Shock. Is it plus 4? Why is it plus 4? I thought it was plus 5.
Shock and grasp, because that is not calculated off of your
Wisdom. It's calculated off of my intelligence.
if it's wizard, then yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Natural 20 hits.
Do we?
Less.
Okay. So it's 2d8 thunder damage or lightning damage.
Lightning. 16 points of lightning damage. He is unable to make reactions.
Yeah.
Nice.
The lightning crackles around him. Rose, your turn.
Rose is gonna get up. And she's gonna use her second wind.
All right.
Which I think is 1d10 plus 4 healing, isn't it?
Yeah. D10 plus fighter level. 10 points of healing. Nice. She's on 20.
Right. And then she's gonna Blade Ward. I can only use that on myself, can't I?
As in,
The cantrip.
you extend your hand and trace a sigil. Yeah, because it is a cast of self.
Alright, I'll do that.
All right. You have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. Next turn.
That's my goal.
All right. Snipe turns to you. I don't like you.
Oh.
I'm just dead, okay? When I'm dead, I'm just unconscious, don't mind me. You don't need to roll the damage.
Very much all or nothing today.
He just slams the blade into you, Nyx, and you black out. Everyone else just sees him reach down, grab Nyx.
Excuse me? Okay,
And just
Um,
pass through the portal.
Did he Misty step with me or just leave?
Nope, he just grabs you and drags you forwards and walks through the portal. Rose can make her attack of opportunity if she wants.
Yeah, I
Yeah, 'cause
guess
you
I
already
won't
used
make
your
that much.
I will say he's at 30-something HP, so
I believe.
feel free to make the attack though.
I need to make math first.
16 does not hit, I'm afraid. You all watch, somewhat flabbergasted, as Nyx falls to the ground and just the hand just grabs around her chest plate and just drags her across the boat and walking through the portal.
I mean,
He takes one more vengeful swing at Ray.
Can he reach Ray or is it Ulrich?
Fucking misses, and then goes through the portal himself.
Ulrich, attack of opportunity.
Feel free. Oh, that hits.
Go.
Roll damage. Maybe he doesn't slip through the portal.
Ulrich.
He slips through the portal, I'm afraid. And with that, combat has come to a close.
Okay, I don't know about you guys, but I leap over the banister and dash through the portal. If it's still open.
It's still open.
Goodbye, Eryn. Good luck.
I don't really know what to do here.
Eryn's
And
making a run for a portal. For the portal. The portal doesn't seem like it's closing.
I look at Rose for guidance.
She's just looking shocked. And also looks slightly annoyed at herself for missing.
No one gonna stop me. No one gonna come with me.
I mean, I don't,
Yeah,
I don't
can I
control
try and
Ulrich,
grab
so-
Eryn?
I would say you're able to sort of grab him as he's trying to run past and just sort of grab hold of his arm.
I struggle.
I feel like we need to think about this.
What if she's dying now? We have to go save her.
What if we go through that portal and there's just an army waiting for us? What if the portal is one way?
What if she's dying? We're gonna lose her.
We'll all be dead if we go after her, potentially. Can we see what's on the other side of the portal?
Well, you see what appears to be a room.
Ulrich, what do you think?
kind of sort of clicks his neck. I'm wishing we had some healing right now, but I'm with the elf.
Right.
Eryn sighs and casts Cure Wounds at second level on himself, and then a Cure Wounds at first level on Ray.
Thank you.
It's fine. But I want to go in
Alright.
there.
Okay, let's go in.
That's my Cure Wounds.
She would probably do the same for us.
That's
Abby.
great.
Mm-hmm.
Do me a favor.
Mm-hmm.
Roll a death saving throw.
No, don't make her do it. Don't make her do it.
Thank you.
It's okay.
Is 10 a pass?
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
Alright, Eryn, this is your mission. I'll follow you.
I really appreciate this, Ray.
I'll reluctantly follow because I want my pinky back.
Shit, the one person who can heal me. All right. Let me just quickly put you in an easy to copy formation.
And away we go.
We're all taking death saving throws as soon as we get in.
Not quite. Not quite. Sorry, this requires a little bit of thinking.
Someone expecting me to get stolen.
Kidnapped. They kidnapped our noob.
No napped.
No,
No napped.
Ah.
They're back. Kill
I
him.
didn't. They're duplicates of you.
What?
You're double
I pressed Control V instead of Control C. All right, leave me alone. Alrighty. We will now transition to what you guys see.
It's dark.
Portal is behind you. The Gif who you followed through last is just at the door and turns and swears as he sees you enter. And I think that will be where we call the session.
Oh.
I have dark vision.
It's a room.
I have dark vision.
It is a
I
room.
don't.